Hello students, today we are going to discuss chapter number 2 of Civics, Preamble to the Constitution. Before we discuss about the chapter, let us first recall what we learnt in the previous lesson. We learnt about the Constitution of India. We learnt that the Constitution is an important document clarifying the rules of administration. We learnt that the Constituent Assembly made the Constitution for our country. And we also discussed that our representatives have to carry out the administration as per the law laid down by the Constitution. Today, what we are going to learn in the present chapter? We are going to discuss what is preamble. We will discuss the noble values, thoughts and ideas in the preamble. And we are going to know the 3 values guaranteed by the preamble to Indian citizens. Let us discuss these points now. Preface to the Indian Constitution is called the preamble. We all are Indian citizens. Our constitution is the basic and the highest law of our country. There are definite aims and purposes in making any law. Basic provisions in the law are made after clarifying these objectives. A systematic arrangement of all the aims and objectives of a law is the preface to the law. And the preface to the Indian Constitution is called the preamble. Preamble sets out the objectives of our Constitution. Dear students, if you open any of your textbooks, you will find in the beginning pages the preamble to the Indian Constitution is printed. Even during our prayer time, most of the times we all say the preamble to the Indian Constitution together. And you all know that the preamble begins with the words, "We, the people of India." It tells us that the preamble aims that all Indian people coming together will be deciding about the laws of this land. It talks about the resolve of the Indians to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Now you must have a question in your mind about all these terms. So let us discuss these terms one after the other. Let us discuss what does it mean by sovereign state. The word sovereign means that a state is not under the control of a foreign power. Before 15th of August 1947, we all know that India was under the control of Britain. On 15th August 1947, we got independence. And then our country became an independent nation. Now our country, our state is not under the control of any foreign power. Ours is a democratic country. Ours is a free country. This is what a sovereign state means. Sovereignty means the ultimate authority to govern yourself. After the independence, the Indian people are governing their country on their own. They are making the rules, the laws for themselves. Their representatives are executing those laws and working for the welfare of the citizens. This is meant by governing your own self. The Constitution reflects the principle of popular sovereignty, and the government elected by the people makes laws on behalf of the people. You must have heard about the general elections that take place every 5 years. In those elections, the citizens of India, those who have completed the age of 18, can cast vote and elect a representative from a political party. Such elected representatives, they work in the Parliament of India and they make laws on behalf of the people and for the welfare of the people. This is what sovereign state means. Another term is socialist state. The preamble states that Indian people wish to make this country, this state, as a socialist state. Another aim Indian people had while designing the constitution, and it was to make India a socialist state. A state where the gap between the rich and the poor is minimum is a socialist state. It is ensured that wealth is not concentrated in the hands of a few people. Therefore, while preparing the budget of the nation, due care is taken that equal opportunities will be given to all the people to earn their livelihood, so that there would be less gap between the rich and the poor. This is socialist state. Indian people aimed to make India a secular state. In a secular state, all religions are considered as equal. No one religion is considered as the state religion. It means equal importance is given to all the religions, and therefore people belonging to different religions have equal rights to believe in their religious norms, to practice their beliefs, and it also gives equal importance for the celebration of different religious festivals. You must have noted that in India, we do not have any state religion. What does mean by state religion? In some countries, especially in ancient times, there was a specific religion which was considered as the state religion, and the citizens were bound to follow the state religion and its practices, though they belonged to some other religion by birth. But in India, we follow Sarva Dharma Samabhav. It means all dharmas, all religions will be treated with equality. Samabhav. It means with the same feeling, with the same respect. And so, we follow all the traditions and customs of all the religions togetherly. In your school also, you must have noted that as we celebrate Diwali, we celebrate Christmas too with great enthusiasm. We have holidays for the festivals like Eid, Pateti, etc. So, in India, all religions are considered as equal. Indian people wished to have a democratic state. In a democracy, the sovereign power is in the hands of the people. People elect their representatives through elections. And then these elected representatives, they take decisions for the entire population as per the procedure laid down by the Constitution. These elected representatives, they work in the House of Parliament, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and they follow all the constitutional norms to prepare laws, and they implement various welfare schemes for the Indian people. This is known as democratic state. People cannot come together when they have a large population for the country. It is not feasible to take the decisions every now and then, considering the number of people in the country. So, they give the right of taking decisions on behalf of themselves to their representatives, and these representatives are elected by the people. If you remember, every year our school also conducts school elections where you elect your representatives like captains and vice captains for different houses. And these elected captains and vice captains, they do work on behalf of you and even they work for you. This is what democracy is. Another aim is to make India a republic. All public positions in a republic are elected by the people. Means what? The positions like the president, the prime minister, the governor, the chief minister, the mayor, the sarpanch, they are all public positions. And these positions are elected by the people through elections. No public position is occupied on the basis of hereditary succession. In ancient times, we used to have rulers, kings, and the successor of the king, it means the son of the king, would be the next king. So there was hereditary for these positions of rulers. But in free and democratic nation of India, we do not have any such hereditary succession for the public positions. Equal opportunities are given to the citizens. Any citizen who completes the given constitutional norm of contesting the election can contest the election and get elected as any public position like sarpanch, chief minister, mayor, etc. So, in India, we do not have hereditary succession for public positions. This is known as republic. After these aims and objectives, the preamble tells us about 3 values. These values are guaranteed to the citizens of India by the preamble. The first value is justice. There are 3 types of justice which the Constitution, the preamble, guarantees to the Indian citizens. The first is social justice. It means people will not be discriminated on the basis of their religion, their caste, their gender, their financial and social status. This is known as social justice. Rules will be the same, laws will be the same for all citizens of India. They will be having equal opportunities to participate in democratic activities and to take the opportunities for their better life. This is known as social justice. Our constitution guarantees us as the citizen of the country that we would be getting social justice. Next is economic justice. We talked about reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. Economic justice ensures that people will be getting equal opportunities for all sorts of occupations and professions of their choice and to upgrade their lifestyle, to earn their livelihood. We will be getting equal opportunities. This is economic justice. And the third one is political justice. Any citizen of India who completes the age of 18 gets the right to cast vote and elect a political representative. It is known as universal adult franchise. So this right of casting vote will be given to each and every citizen who completes the age of 18 without considering the gender, the caste, the religion, the creed, etc. This is known as political justice. All these terms ensure that equality is maintained for all citizens of India. The next value is liberty. Liberty means freedom. What sort of freedom the Constitution grants us? Dear students, Constitution grants us the freedom of thought and expression. What does it mean? It means by the Constitution we are free to express our opinions, our views on any public or social issues. We can come together, we can have gatherings, and we can have processions to express our views. You must have observed that there are morchas against different social evils. So Constitution grants us this right to express our opinion about some social evil. Taking opportunity of this freedom of thought and expression, we can write different articles on any public issue, even in newspapers and magazines. Using the media or the film, we can express one's views or opinions about any subject of the life. This is known as freedom of thought and expression. Another aspect of liberty is the religious freedom. It means our Constitution gives us the right that we can have any religion of our choice. We can choose the religion that we want to follow, and we are free to practice the religious norms. We are free to celebrate the religious festivals. And so we see that there is diversity in India, and still we are united because we respect each other and we enjoy celebrating each other's festivals. So this is religious freedom that comes under liberty. Hope you are getting these things. The third value that is guaranteed by the preamble is equality. The preamble guarantees the Indian citizens an equality of status and of opportunity. Now here we must discuss what does it mean by equality of status and equality of opportunity. It means that all have equal human status and there will be no discrimination based on our caste or our gender or the place of birth or religion, etc. The guarantee of equal status means not to discriminate. It means not to differentiate between people in terms of high, low, superior, inferior. The preamble has given great importance to equality of opportunity as well. All will get the opportunities for development without any discrimination. The preamble to our Constitution refers to a unique ideal or principle. It is the goal of promoting fraternity among the citizens. We will discuss about it in the next slide. The makers of the Constitution believed that merely guaranteeing justice or freedom and equality would not lead to establishing equality in Indian society. Only laws would not help us achieve these goals if fraternity is lacking among Indians. Therefore, promotion of fraternity has been included in the preamble as a goal. Fraternity means it implies a we feeling towards one another, a feeling of togetherness. It creates a feeling of empathy. It means we can understand each other's worries, problems, difficulties, needs. People become more understanding towards each other's problems and needs. Fraternity is closely related to human dignity. Now, what human dignity means? It implies equal respect to each individual as a human being. It does not depend upon the criteria of caste or gender or language, etc. Just as we would like to be treated with dignity and respect by others, we should also treat others with the same dignity and respect. When every individual respects another and honors their freedom and rights, dignity of the individual will get established. And in such an atmosphere, fraternity will grow automatically. The task of bringing about a new society based on the values of justice and equality will be facilitated if we will be able to have fraternity among ourselves. Our constitution guides us to this goal. Dear students, our preamble ends with a mention of the fact that the people of India have given the constitution to themselves. It means Indian people are not under any foreign control, any foreign rule. This is a free nation. All the people of this free nation unitedly having certain aims, goals, objectives which they will attain with the help of certain values like justice, equality, liberty, and to attain all these aims, they are going to have a framework for the administration which is known as a constitution, and this constitution the Indian people are giving to themselves. The preamble tells us that we, the people of India, are making the constitution and handing it over to our own selves, taking the responsibility to follow it. So this is what preamble to the constitution is. Let us quickly recall what we learnt in the chapter today. We learnt what a preamble is. It is the preface to the Indian Constitution. We also discussed the terms such as sovereign state, socialist state, secular state, and democratic state. We discussed the three values which are guaranteed to us by the preamble: justice, liberty, and equality. We also discussed our goal as Indians to attain fraternity. I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you very much.